Hi all, and I'm back with a new video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I think is important. Obviously, it relates to us being Manson fans. I've seen recently a few things, and specifically this topic relates to the fact that we are fans of Manson, and there's different variations of fans, but I mean the ones that really, really love him, like that, buy all his stuff, and those fans. There's ones that, like, we all know him, but some people, they just, like people may say things about him, and even though it's not true, you don't kind of stand up to it and say, look, that's not the truth, whatever. So I just want to talk a little bit about, it's not so much specifically about that, but it all relates to that, because it's also about, like, you not being able to have something hanging up in your house because it's Marilyn Manson and people don't like him. And so, yeah, that is the topic. Like, I think that you have to get to a point in your life where you really don't care. Like, you really don't give a shit what other people think. I don't. There was a time I did, though, when I first became a Manson fan, and I became a fan in 2001, I thought, I was obsessed, like, completely obsessed, like, far beyond. And I'm not saying I'm not obsessed now, I'm just saying, and obsessed is kind of a word that people tend to over exaggerate about that. So, but back then it was like my entire existence was just Marilyn Manson. And I'm not saying that he's not a huge part of my existence now, but it's just not as extreme in so many ways. And I was younger then, so it's okay. And yes, so, but then, that this was like when I first became a fan, and then a few years later I was able to find t-shirts and stuff with him, and I was able to wear the t-shirts. And it was really only a few years later, when I was wearing the shirts and that I noticed, like, people giving me the looks and stuff like that. Even before then, like when I first became a fan, I dressed in black, and I remember I had these like black boots, and I had this trench coat on, and my hair was black, and like, who cares? And somebody thought I was a Satanist, and they mentioned it to my mom, and she was like telling me, and I was like, well, what the hell? Like, how do people just assume that just because I'm wearing black? Like, so yeah, it's just the common stereotype people associate. Like, if you like Manson, like, you must be a Satanist, or he's a Satanist, or all this stupid rumors that go around about him. But that is just like part of the topic that I want to talk about. But it's more to the fact that, like, people care. Like, fans seem to care what people think. Like, if someone says that they don't like him or something, then they don't want to talk. Then, like, these certain fans, they're not really standing up to the fact that they like him. Like, and not everybody needs to be the same, but it's like, why do you care? Like, I'm a Marilyn Manson fan, and I'm like proud of it, and like, I'm loud and proud. I really don't care. There was a time in my life that I sort of cared, but I don't anymore. And I just don't know why people let it affect them. Like, we have this Manson flag hanging up in our living room, and people come and visit us, like family, friends. Like, I don't care. They haven't said anything, and they probably know that if they said anything, it wouldn't have any effect, because, like, we are not going to take that down. Like, so if people don't like what's hanging up in our living room or in our house or whatever, they don't need to come and visit. It's quite simple. Like, I really don't care. I don't need to have people around me that don't accept him. And it's not, I'm not like being obsessed saying that, like, yeah, I won't ever be friends or speak to someone who doesn't like him, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, because everyone's entitled to their opinion and they can like who they like, but they don't need to talk about it in front of me, like, and badmouth him in front of me and say stuff that's not true about him, or tell me that I need to take stuff down that's in my house. I mean, what right do they have to say that? This is, you know, in your place, it's your place, and you should be allowed to have whatever you want in your place. Don't let people influence you, like, what to have in your place. I don't understand that. Like, you need to learn to make yourself happy and not make other people happy, because if you constantly make other people happy, you're just not going to be happy. And like, you just need to love who you love. Like, it's with any other artist. Like, if you're a fan, you're a fan. You have posters up, you have flags up, you wear their shirts, you wear their merch. Like, who cares? Like, it's because you're a fan, and it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. Like, you're still gonna, you know, you wear that stuff and you have it up because you're proud to be a fan. So just because he's Marilyn Manson and he causes a little chaos, you know, in the mainstream sometimes with the way people think of him, don't be ashamed of it, and like, don't like, you know, run away from the fact that you are like a real fan and you really love him. Because the thing is, we're Manson fans, and Manson doesn't care. He doesn't care. I mean, he doesn't care. Really, he doesn't. Like, he really doesn't care what people think of him. I mean, and so why should we care what people think of us? And like, you just got to learn to just not give a shit, because it's what people want. Like, you know, people know, if they say, oh, you got to take this down, you're not allowed to have it, that, you know, we just going to obey. And then, you know, in the end, there'll be nobody with any Manson posters up, or nobody's wearing his shirts, because everyone's too afraid to do it, because someone's going to tell them to take it down, or they're satanic, or, you know, or whatever. And it's just like, you know, back in the day, I was told I shouldn't wear my shirts in front of little kids because I don't know how it's going to affect them. But then later on, I was told by somebody else that I shouldn't care what people think, and I should just wear whatever I want to wear, because then I make myself happy. Sorry. And so just do that. Like, just make yourself happy, and don't be so quick to like jump to other people. Like, I'm talking about Manson now, of course. I'm not talking about stop caring about other people. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about don't be so afraid to show your love for Manson. Like, if you want something hanging up of him in your house, have it. Like, don't care what people think. Like, really don't, because if you care what people think all the time, you're never going to be able to be yourself and be happy and display the things that you love. And yeah, and that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic. If there's something else like Manson related you'd like me to talk about, I can do so. I thought that this topic was kind of important because I've noticed it quite a bit lately, and I just think, like, I just like, why I don't understand why people feel the need that they have to do that. But I can sort of understand it, because I went through a very small phase where I sort of listened to that, where regarding to t-shirts and small kids. So I mean, another thing is, I also have a Manson shirt for every occasion. So, like, you know, I'm sensitive to people's needs, but it's not like I'm gonna not wear him, or I'm not gonna display him. I'm still gonna display him. I will just select what I'm gonna display. I'm not going to not display him at all. And yeah, it's more about, you can be sensitive to people's needs without completely caving into what they want. Like, you know, if you want a photo hanging up of him in your lounge or whatever, and you know people don't really like him, pick a nice photo. Like, they, you know, maybe they change their mind. Like, people don't really know him. They've not really seen who he is. We know who he is, but other people don't. So yeah, that's basically it. Just don't cave in. Like, just make yourself happy, display your love for Manson, and be proud that you are a Manson fan, because it's really awesome to be a Manson fan, and we're a great family. And I'd like to think that we stick up for each other. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just don't let people ruin being a Manson fan for you. Like, don't let them ruin that. Just do it and just display the love that you want for him. And that's it. See you in my next video. Bye.